And welcome back. Today we're going to be flying out the Uragun 7.7 for the Israeli Tech Tree. This thing is identical to the French one, and the Uragun is also basically the same. The differences between these planes are very minimal, and I won't even be pointing them out. This thing is actually pretty decent. It's not the fastest, but it is pretty maneuverable. It's not going to be like a meteor, but it retains its energy quite well. The acceleration isn't too high, so do keep in mind that if you go for prolonged fights, even though your retention is pretty good and the flaps don't really rip, you're not going to get that speed back very quickly. And I want you to take a look at my speed right now. I'm going 910 roughly. If you reach that 950 mark, your elevator will start bugging out. It will start flapping up and down, and you will basically fly completely straight. You'll have to throttle drop, air brake to get out of that if you go beyond like a 25-30 degree dive, because you are just going to compress into the ground. So be very careful about those high speed passes. Try to stay below 950 whenever you can. Right now my team is looking pretty bad, so I want to take down people as quickly as I can. F3D is not a very big threat. It's probably going to be the next on my list, but it has those A&M trees, and I don't want to deal with that late game, as I'd rather have him out of the match right now. A2D isn't that much of an issue to me, so I'm just going to be exiting the area. R2Y2 is going to be one of your nemesis. You are a lot faster, but he's a lot more maneuverable, and those guns are very painful if you are on the other side of them. And what I'm doing right here is I attack the F3D, the A2D as well. I got him kind of busy, and then I just leave. A very big part of the enemy team wasn't spotted, so if I stay there on the deck, spotted, alone kinda, I'm gonna get pounced by all those other guys like the F89Bs, which are very annoying to fight in this thing, and you are just going to get your ass eaten, and I do not want that. So I just leave the area. I come back a little bit later, and with a little bit of luck my team starts engaging the furball that's over there. Then the F89 starts engaging my team, and then I can start engaging the F89Bs, because the F89Bs are extremely annoying to fight in this thing, mainly because they have such good acceleration compared to you, and at top speed, well, they are a little bit slower than you, but they have much more acceleration, and I can just put it into that 5 degree climb and you're never gonna be touching them. You are more maneuverable, but they can just kind of climb away from you forever, and you're not gonna be doing much to them. This guy is not sure what he's doing, but he kind of got close to me, so I thought why not take him out in the meantime. But do keep in mind, there is still 2 guys right above us, and if one of those thinks at any moment they need to engage me, I'm gonna be in a little bit of a problem. They have a lot more energy on me. They can very easily dive on me, so I'm trying to stay around that 750 mark, so at least have some ability to maneuver. And there goes another A2D, which is great. Horton, however, not a great plane, one of the most atrocious things I've flown in recent time, and yes, you're gonna be seeing a video on that pretty soon here, but it's gonna be me absolutely tearing my hair out. And again, I'm just observing, I'm flying around, I'm keeping my altitude and my speed somewhat high, and I keep saying that, but then I look at my speed and it's like 650, I'm just more used to 9.0 planes as I am to 7.7s, but the R2Y2 right now is going very slow, and I can tell that he is probably not really paying attention to me. He's probably going to be looking at the Horton, so I'm just going to be diving in here, and I want to take this guy down as quickly as I can. He notices me a little too late, set him on fire, and we are going to be leaving. I managed to set both his engines on fire from the side, which is more than enough to put him out of the match, and we just leave again. F89s are coming in with a lot of speed. F7F in the area doesn't eat me for breakfast, luckily, so I can very likely just kill him without any issues. And the F84 is also the B variant, you can tell by the lack of a G next to the plane type. So now we are looking pretty grim. We have a Horton which is chasing the F84, who is never going to be catching him. We have 2 B-29s in orbit, but for now the fighters are all condensed in here, and we can see all of them. One of my teammates is burning up, he's crashed into the ground just now. And what do I want to do here? The F7F is very closely on the Horton, and I'm actually going to be going for him. Is this the right thing to do? Yes and no, it's situational, but at the point that the F7F kills the Horton, I've already committed to the attack, and it would be a waste to not take it, so I eat the F7F for breakfast. And now we have the F89 on R6. Normally when you look at target prioritization, you want to go for the F89 first, because he's further back. This time, however, I tried to save my teammate, as I was confident that I could keep the F89 busy, just like we are right here, and then the Horton could have come in. unfortunately now we are on our own, and I'm keeping this guy in a little bit of a dogfight, but then the other F-89 starts coming in. So I'm just gonna start doing a raid fight here. Normally I would have gone vertical, but if that other F-89 decided to go for me, I would have been basically dead. The Su-11 might have been able to kill the guy that killed me, but then we are both dead, and then it's gonna be a 1v1. The big eye guy here is running away, as he should. He's gonna out-accelerate me pretty easily, and he's gonna intercept the Su-11 that's dogfighting the F-89. The Su-11 is riding the guy 6. Worst case scenario, the Su-11 gets taken down, and then I'm in a 2v1. Luckily, the Su-11 turns it into, well, not a 2v1, but a 1v1 at least. If that dogfight had gone prolonged, the F-89, the big guy, would have killed the Su-11, and then I would have had to deal with Pork. Probably would have killed him, as he is very slow in a dogfight, but that would have taken me some time, some energy and some position, which then allowed big guy to get back on my 6. This time he's just gonna go vertical, and he is gonna be energy trapping me with relative ease. I'm just gonna keep my speed a little bit higher, and I'm gonna try to stay out of his guns for as long as I can. I'm gonna go horizontal here, I'm gonna try to hug the ground, and then after he turns in a little bit, I'm gonna be pulling in into him with the chance of getting a shot. Unfortunately, he has a lot more energy than me. I try another long range shot, don't manage to connect it, and we are actually gonna give him our 6 again. And why do I do this? Well, I want to give him the opportunity to attack me, because if you keep the enemy aggressive, he is gonna bleed speed. If you keep him passive, he's always gonna go max speed. He accelerates better than me, so the longer this fight goes on, the lower my energy will be opposed to his. So I want to just kind of bleed him by making him do attack runs. I do the same thing, I go low, and then I pull in a little bit later. I'm staying inside of his turning circle, and there we go. He's right ahead of us, and we managed to crit his wingtip. He is now locked into this fight because he bled too much speed. He's going to fly in front of our guns. We don't have the rudder authority to pull back in there, and he is going to overroll into the ground because his aileron is completely fucked up. And there you have it. 2 B-29s in space are gonna go for a landing, and they both managed to crash. Just fantastic. But that 5 kills was actually the first game I ever did in the Israeli one. On to the third game I ever did in the Israeli one. We are on city with an air spawn, so the matchup is a little bit different. And the A5 Saber below me is probably the biggest threat in the game. At least when you're flying this thing at this kind of matchmaker. The A5 is almost as maneuverable as you. It's very easy for him to just stick on your 6, much better roll rate, easy to use guns, it's faster than you, it's just you but better in general. You have this ability to drop flaps at very high speeds, you can kind of cut inside of him, but it's a very tricky fight, and it completely depends on the starting position. Is it a head-on? Do you start on his 6? Does he start on your 6? What altitude are you at? What speeds are you at? But the A5 Saber in general is a very scary plane, and he turns back in the second I break off. So we are going to be locked into a little bit of a fight here. And he goes vertical, so I just say, hell no, I am out. Because when he goes vertical, he bleeds a lot more speed than you. Or we both bleed a lot of speed, and he actually starts pulling inside of me. I'm just going to be dipping. I don't want to deal with that. I'm now a lot faster than him. And I kind of want to use this opportunity as I'm still relatively close in speed before he starts gaining on me. I'm just going to turn in. Because if I prolong this kind of extension, what ends up happening is he's going to pick up more speed than me because he has a higher top speed. So then I start in even worse of a foot. So I'm a little bit forced to take this fight as early as I can. So we dodge the 50 cals, we go vertical, and we try to keep this loop very, very tight. I'm trying to stay above his nose, I'm trying to keep him in front of my nose. And very slowly but surely, he's going again and end up right ahead of us. Crit him. And we just fly away, because there's another teammate now, and if I'm locked into this fight, I'm gonna be in a very bad position. So I'd rather just leave this guy crit, leave him hanging there, because the meteor is likely just gonna lick him up, and he's out of the fight. He's stalled out, there's 3 guys attacking him. Why should I waste my time with him? There's no reason to. A5 is gonna go down here very quickly, just everyone is hosing him, and he bails out for us, because he's a nice guy. And now, a little bit later in the match, there is 3 guys left. There's an A4E, there's an F2H, as well as an F9F8. And the F9F8 is not my main concern. It's fast, sure, It has missiles, sure, and it has A&M trees, sure. But it bleeds a lot of energy very quickly. And I see an F2H at very high altitude, so I check what kind of player he is. He doesn't look to be very experienced, so I'm not actually worried about him at all. And I'd rather just go and face the A4E. The A4E is a lot faster than us, and he can easily run back to his base. And right now he's going for bomb base, which means to me that he likely, guess what, has bombs on, which makes him a lot slower and makes him a very easy target. And right now I just want to do another numbers down because our team doesn't have many of them as of right now. And the A4E is just going to be rushing the base, and I'm going to be catching him very slowly. And if he does any kind of maneuver, he will die right here because he just bleeds so much energy. Just want to make sure I don't die to a bomb, so I'm going to pull off a little bit here. I also don't want to compress my elevator. And he does a little bit of a turn, bleeds all his speed, and at this point he is essentially dead. We are compressing a little bit, so I actually don't manage to pull in time there. But we're just gonna go vertical, drop the throttle a little bit, because I want to bleed a lot of speed as well. But otherwise this fight is going to take very long, and bleed more speed because it took very long. Right now the A4E, he is basically dead to rights, so doesn't really get to do anything anymore. Other than appreciate his absolute horseshit damage model. We hit him, we crit him. And now he is still flying pretty alright, like he is dead. He's gonna make it back to base like this, so we just do another pass. So we shoot him, we hit him again, and he decides he has enough of it and says, "Honey, I'm home," slams into his house. And that's the A4E down. Not a very high effort kill, but it's some target prioritization nonetheless. And now we have the F2H in the middle of the map together with a Meteor, as well as the F9F8 that's gonna come from their airfield pretty quickly here. And the F2H is doing the right thing. He's trying to regroup with his F9F, trying to double team the Meteor, and the Meteor breaks off and probably goes RTB. And I said F9F8, but it's actually an A4B. How well my memory has served me lately. F2H coming head on, A4E as well, and the A4B is a lot closer, so we head on him first. We managed to get a crit in, and then I don't have the distance to pull in for the head on, so I'm just gonna go full dodge mode. We dodge the F2H's guns, we go vertical here. If he tries to follow it, he instantly dies, and if he doesn't, he also instantly dies. The F2H doesn't get to do much versus you when you're flying the Uragan. Hit the back of his tail, managed to get a pilot snipe, and now we're just cleaning up A4B. He's already crit from the head on, he has some payload on, so really he's not going to be doing anything. This is just for the sake of closing up this game. A little bit short on time and energy at the moment, so I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter than normal. Just witness this A4B tanking all my rounds. He also decides to have enough of it and decides to go back home as well. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all next week.